there. Welcome back. Well, I'm going to get into, as you can see right there, going to get into Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. This came out in 1982, and it's not a bad movie, but it's also not a great movie. But we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But if you're new, welcome, and please subscribe. That little logo down there at the corner of the screen there. That is a subscribe button. Just click on it, and you automatically subscribe to my channel without even leaving the video. And so, Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. Well, there's mixed feelings about this movie within the Friday the 13th community. Me personally, I really like this movie. Now, I will say this, the 3D effects are not good whatsoever, and a lot of them don't make any sense whatsoever as well. But before we get into this review, if you have not seen this movie by chance, please go watch this movie and then come back and watch this review. Otherwise, you're going to get a bunch of spoilers because there's going to be some in this review. So, Friday the 13th Part 3 stars Dana Kimmel and a bunch of other people that I don't feel like naming off right now. But, because I basically don't remember all their names. But, I remember her because she is the survivor of the movie. And so, once again, Jason's back at it. Now, this movie takes place a day after Part 2. So, technically, it's Saturday the 14th. But, you know. But, so, this movie here is the very second Friday the 13th movie I ever saw. And it didn't scare me as bad as the excuse me, as the second one did. I was a little more prepared when I watched this one. I was still about 9 or 10 years old though. But this one didn't scare me as bad. I actually kind of enjoyed this one. And so it was, just a really good movie, I thought. And it's weird, when you watch a scary movie, this was what it was with me. Scary movies, they scare you, but you just want to keep watching and you want to see what happens, even though they're scaring you to death. You still want to see what's going on and see it and all that. Well, that's the way I was with this movie. And now, I will say this, the acting is not great. In fact, it is well known and said in interviews from the cast that they were focused more, the makers of the movie were focused more on the 3D effects than actually the acting. So, the acting in this movie is pretty bad. It's not great. This is probably the worst acting in the series, in my opinion, but that's just me. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I think that this is probably the worst. And so, but I still enjoy the movie. This is the movie where he gets the hockey mask for the first time. He gets it from a character named Shelly. Shelly likes to play pranks on people, jokes on people, and all that. And he kills Shelly and takes the hockey mask. And Shelly's little love interest is out by the water, which I wouldn't call it a lake. I wouldn't call it Crystal Lake whatsoever, because technically it looks like it's just a big hole with water in it. That's basically what it was. The people who did this movie basically just dug a hole and filled it with water. It don't even look like a lake. It don't look like a pond. It don't look like anything. It's just a big hole with water. And so it's like they didn't even try. But anyway, she's out there by the water, and so she drops Shelly's wallet into the water, and she's going in and getting it. And Jason appears, walks out onto the little pier, and for some odd reason, she thinks that it's Shelly. Big 6 foot tall Jason, and she thinks it's Shelly. Shelly was overweight and all that, and shorter, but yet she thinks she thinks Jason is Shelly. That don't make any sense whatsoever. But anyway, he shoots her in the eye with a spear or harpoon, whatever you want to call it, and kills her. So, but basically, this movie is follows Dana Kimmel, her character Chris, and she has some kind of she's coming back to her the place. It's called Higgins Haven, and it's like a little ranch, so to speak. And she's coming back all these years to, because when she was younger, there's a sequence in this movie where she talks about it. She was younger and she was out in the woods. Her and her boyfriend, I guess, she had, or he had dropped her off at home, and her and her parents got into an argument or something like that. And so she runs out into the woods, and Jason shows up and attacks her with a knife. And so she's haunted by that. And so she's heading back to, apparently this is the same area where it happened. So that's what she's doing. That's her point of being in the movie, is the fact that she's trying to face her demons, I guess. And it does, it does good. I mean, it makes sense. Now, the little sequence that she is telling about all this doesn't make sense, because it's like you can see half her face and then half the sequence, and it's like a very weird dissolve, and it just doesn't really fit. But it's still good. So basically, that is her whole purpose of being in the movie at this place, and she just brings her friends along, and they all get killed. But before all that happens, Shelly and his date, Vera, go to the store to get some groceries and food and stuff like that, and they run into this motorcycle gang who aren't very friendly. And as Shelly and Vera are leaving, Shelly accidentally bumps into their motorcycles with his car, knocks them over, ticks them off. So they go to the camp, and they're going to siphon all the gas out of their van. So I guess that they're stranded. I guess that was that's revenge. I guess I don't get that. I mean, you took the gas out of my van. Okay, that really showed me that I'll never do anything like that again. You took all the gas out of my van. No, yeah, I don't call that getting even, but whatever. It is what it is. And so they end up getting killed by Jason. And the kills in this are really good. They try to do 3D kills now. Like I said, the 3D effects are not good whatsoever. But I don't know, the 3D kills are, I don't really have a problem with them. I mean, they look really good to me. The only 3D effects I didn't like were the effects where you'd see somebody sitting there putting a end of a baseball bat sitting there right in your face for no reason whatsoever, or And then there's a scene where a rat, a little mouse or rat or whatever, is walking towards the camera. I mean, it's like, okay, what's the point of that? You know, I don't know. Just some of the 3D effects just are complete ridiculous. Um, then there's a part where he's hitting Andy's hitting his girlfriend in the face with a yo-yo, and you just see this 3D effect of the yo-yo going into the camera, out of the camera, into the camera, out of the camera, and it's like, really, I don't know. That's just ridiculous to me. I don't really buy that. But the kills I thought were pretty good. Um, I don't really have a favorite kill. Well, I guess in part three, I would say that the killing of Chris's boyfriend, Paul, or not Paul, Rick. Paul is his real name, but Rick, he gets killed. And he gets his head. Jason squeezes his head, and his eye popped out. That was pretty cool. That's probably my favorite kill of the whole movie. So anyway, but yeah, so the movie goes on, and Chris is fighting Jason at the very end, and she's, you know, beating him up with a shovel, hitting him with a shovel. She hangs him outside the barn, and when she comes to open the barn door, he's like right there, and he comes alive, and he's taking the rope off around his neck, and his mask comes off, and it shows his face, and it's really cool. Um, and she realizes and sees that it's the guy that attacked her with a knife many years ago. And so I thought that was really cool that she noticed that, and he showed her his face and stuff like that. Uh, but then then they fight some more, and she hits him in the head with an axe, and that's the end of the movie, pretty much. But all in all, a good movie. I wouldn't give it a 5 out of 5. I'd give it probably a 3 out of 5. I mean, this is lacking quite a bit. 3D effects are horrible. The acting's horrible. Um, but it's still a good movie, oddly enough. But other than that, that's it. Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go see it. And that's it. Again, if you like this review, please give it a big thumbs up. Please leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on this movie. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all in the next video.